Okay, so the deck had some time to dry and she's good and solid right now. So we're ready to move on with the instructions, and now we're going to start to add little structures that are going to be on this deck. Let's see, this is the starboard side, so this is the side that's going to be open. So what we got to do is there's a little staircase over here that we got to frame in, and we put a little ladder in there. We have a capstan that's going to go over here, I believe. And I think there's something else we got to do. Oh yeah, there's like a little frame ring that's going to go for where the mast is going to come down through. And you can see the mast eventually will be right here. So I think we're ready to move on. So let's take a look at the instructions. So let's put her aside for a moment. So we're going to use the wood to frame in, and that would be, this is C1, and this is described as the African mahogany, or excuse me, the African walnut. So we're going to frame in this hole, and that's where one of the ladders is going to be coming from. We also have to make the base for the capstan, and that's C6, and then we're going to take C7. I think that's all we need for now on this. Okay, so now we're going to have piece C5 coming through this. So this is going to go like this, and we're going to put it in 3 millimeters. So what we're going to put around that is we have to put C7. Yeah, they're a little bit different in color. So I think the C1 is the one that's a little bit lighter. That's going to frame in the ladder, and the one that's a little bit darker is the C7, and this is going to go around the capstan. So what I'm going to do is we're going to glue this into place, and then we're going to measure out the pieces, and we're going to cut the pieces for that. Make sure it's straight. And what we're going to do now is we actually have to measure out the pieces that are going to go around it. So we're going to do north, south, east, and west. There. Okay, let's check to see if this is starting to set. So I think this is going to help. When we glue these on, we'll do north, south, east, and west first, and this is actually going to help to keep it straight, because the sides are going to be flush with the bottom. Alright, see how that's on right now? So now I'm going to do the complete opposite side. So we're going to go the other side, and it's going to help keep it level. So let me... See how that's looking? Okay, now I'm going to do east, so we're going to go right in the center for the next one. And I'm going to do west now. And that's going to be the complete opposite of the one we just did. There. See, this is going to help keep the post level. So now what we got to do is we're going to go in between each one. So let's go back to the first one that we did. There. Hopefully you guys can see how we put everything on, and going north, south, east, and west twice, it assures that everything is going to be lined up. So what we need to do now is we actually have to file that down into a shape. So we're going to put that aside now. We're going to let it completely set. So the pieces of the ladder, let me show you guys. These would be pieces C4. And what they do is they have little diagonal slits cut into them. And we're going to cut little pieces that are going to go into these. I want to put just a little bit of glue on each one. And I want to make sure it's centered. All right, let me show you guys. I wanted to do it this way, so all right, we got this one done. So these are going to fan out, so right about here. Here. Now what I gotta do is the bottom part, I gotta kind of angle it in just a little bit. There. See how I kind of sharpen it up just a little bit? All right. Let's get it cleaned off. So, this is all set now to glue into the ship. Why don't we check on our ladders? I want to use my tweezers to show you guys these. So there's that one and the other one. So the ladders are all set. We don't stain the ladders. We're just going to put them in the way they are. So I think what we can think about doing now is we're actually going to do the frame that's going to go around where the ladder is going to come up. So the first one we're going to do is right here. So where did I just put the... Yep, this is it. Alright, so we're going to be doing this one first. So let me get an approximate size. Where's my pencil? Okay, so we got that one framed in, and you know, I'm thinking I'm wondering if I should stain it to make it stick out a little bit more, because it doesn't really show, but it looks a little darker in the instructions, so I'm wondering if they actually stained it. We'll see as it goes on. Okay, so that one is finished. So I think, why don't we think about putting the capstan in now? Here we are. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead. We're going to put some of the glue on this now. And this is going to go right into the deck, so I think... small, so forgive me. That looks good. Okay, so we got that in, and we are going to be doing another hole for the ladder. You can see the ladder is going to go in the back, and it's going to come down at an angle. And where is it going to be? Is it going to be resting on anything? Alright, so I had to trim the ladder a little bit because the one that I made, it was too thick. So I put the steps way too thick for it. So what I did was I had to bring it down. So we brought it down to this. So I think what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to actually just go ahead, I'm going to measure the opening before cutting, just so I have the appropriate clearance. So let me get this glue on it here. So that one's a little bit better. So let me see now. As of right now, we framed in the C1 and I left a little lip around it. We cut the ladders. We did the capstan. We left the 3 millimeters out. We put all of the pieces on. We filed it down. So let's look for C8. Put some glue on it. Just like that. It looks good. You can look through and see that it lines up nicely. So just like that. All right. So the ladder, getting back to that, I think it's going to rest right on the bottom over here. So I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put some glue on the bottom of the ladder, and then we're going to feed it through, and it's going to rest right up against the bulkhead on the bottom. Actually, I'm going to hold off on that for now because we'll wait to see, because the glue for the ladder will set on the bottom. So hopefully you guys can see the ladder and the capstan. All right, so what we need to do so we have to do another one. We got to frame it in, and we'll put the other ladder right by the part for the mast. So let's start by framing in where the ladder is going to come through. So let me Now we got this one framed in. Now what we're going to do is, I'm actually going to put her aside a minute. That's a lot better. Alright, so that's going to be going, I think it's going to be the same way. We're going to have the ladder resting on a bulkhead below. Alright, so let's pass it down again with the glue on this time. And we're going to rest it right on that bulkhead right there. And that looks pretty good. So we've got the ladders, and the ladder holes are all framed in. The ladders are in place, and when the glue sets, I'll put a little reinforcing drop on the ladder itself up against the frame. I think we're ready to move on. I'll take you off the tripod in a minute, and I'll show you. So we did both ladders. We did the capstan. Yeah, we're going to be ready to move on. So that completed this section, and this, I think, was section C of the instructions. So this is the side of the ship that's going to be open. So let me take you off of the tripod. So you can see the ladder. We framed in the opening. Moving down, you can see where the mast is going to go. And we have the capstan. That we shaped. And then we have the ladder in the back, peeking up through the floor. Now I think we're going to, at some point, we're going to frame that in. And there's a couple down in the front section that we're going to probably have to take care of. But for right now, that's the instructions for part C. So my friends, I hope you're enjoying the build. And until my next video, thanks for watching. And I'll talk to you soon.